gonna start recording then.
Is my profile picture like visible? Do y'all see it?
Yeah, it's like a fucking what is it? A minion?
A Muslim minion?
Muslim minion.
Enough said.
Jesus.
Great start to the podcast. Well, welcome to episode 2 of the Pencil Shaving Podcast.
It's one.
But
This is one. You fucking idiot.
well, technically it's
Remember the
2.
first
It's
one
just the
didn't
audio
go.
on the first one fucked up. So.
Oh, so what is it? A lost episode now? Is it going to be in like the week?
Yeah,
the
episode 0.
Yeah,
Fucking-
it's
okay.
it's an origin
Jeez.
story.
Okay, but so are we? This
Prequel.
is this episode 1? Is this is why it's called the Pencil Shaving Podcast, because we can't count. Podcasts count above fucking 0 apparently.
Yeah.
Fucking
Hey,
pathetic.
this is-
Is there autism?
Bum, bum,
Welcome
bum.
to the official beginning origin
Where
story
was
of
that?
Pencil Shaving Inc. I'm
Yeah,
your
Pencil
host.
Shaving Incorporated.
I'm your
Okay.
host, Dr. Pencil Shaving.
And trust me, he earned that name.
I'm your host, number 2 pencil.
T-Con
That means you or Trey get to be the sharpener.
Well, I get to be T-Con. Do you know what T-Con Daroga is? Do you know what that is? You're probably not a pencil aficionado like I am.
Yeah,
I
sir,
would
I don't
believe.
know the lore of pencils. I'm still
He only
learning
knows the
lore.
pencil shavings.
That's right. That's true. Well, T-Con Daroga is.
I did my
mass-
doctorate on the IQ of pencil shavings.
Well, T-Con Daroga is the mass producer of pencils.
Yeah, but we can't have pencil shavings by themselves. We need a sharpener. So I guess, Trey, you're the sharpener.
Apparently, I'm the sharpener.
Yeah,
And we-
congratulations. You got railroaded.
Fate.
Jesus.
So what do we start off with? Since this is episode 1, not 2. Just saying. Just saying for the record.
Yeah, this is the other one was the pre-sequel.
I don't remember when
Yeah,
we were talking
pretty
about
cool.
it, but one of us had a good idea about talking about like old like work stories, like shit that's happened at our
maybe-
old jobs.
We'll go into that, but I think we should start with the
Origins.
Why can't I? I keep wanting to say orientation. It's just
Oriole.
like gay. That's like
The
gay or straight.
areolas.
I don't know.
The aerials.
Okay, so I think if we
fuck that.
start volume 1,
Volume,
where do we start? I guess.
Volume
What
1.
the fuck
Oh,
is
who-
that?
Rolly, get out!
Oh,
Rolly,
you're roly-poly.
Rolly, get out! We're doing a
Fine.
podcast.
Fine.
We
Oh.
need you out. We're doing a
Okay,
podcast.
okay.
That's right,
perfect. That
roly-poly
is
leaving.
perfect.
Come back.
That is fucking. That could not
Oh
have.
my God.
heard
That's
it any
awesome.
better. Okay.
I
Anyway,
killed,
Take that
I
putty
killed the
sauce.
roly-poly.
Let's start on how this podcast got started.
okay. So we've been. So I guess we'll start off. I don't know. I guess I was the earliest friends with Michael from 2008. So we've been friends since then.
Yes.
And then I met Lee in 8th grade. We weren't really friends until about like sophomore year though.
Yeah.
And then I met Trey. I think it was freshman year you moved to where we went
Yeah,
to.
it was
Yeah, it's freshman year.
2014. It was 2014 when I moved down. Yeah, my freshman year.
Okay.
That smells
Yeah,
good.
so that's where I kind of met everybody, and then I guess Lee and Trey met around the same time because we all
yeah,
went to
Well,
school
I
together.
met Lee through Joshua.
Oh,
That's how I met Lee.
Well, actually, I met
Right,
you.
that makes
No, I didn't even meet you through Josh. I met you because we had Miss Matheson's class together.
No, I swear it was through Joshua because
No, we had-
Joshua and you were friends before me and you were.
No, because you would talk to me like every day in Miss Matheson's class. There's no way.
I don't remember, bro. Too many concussions.
Been a really good conversation then.
it's like half Highland Park education, half CTE.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
ridiculous
got to throw
combination.
Cap Rock in there too, you know.
Oh yeah, that's
Got
true.
shit from there too,
Wrestling,
so you know.
CTE, yeah.
Yeah, no, we had
And then
Miss Matheson's
Uh,
class together, so I already knew you. We talked all the time. I actually
Okay.
like don't take it the wrong way. I kind of hated you when I first met you.
Okay,
Everybody
great
did.
segue.
Let me establish this early. Our friend group hated me. They did not like me. We
What?
got that out the
I
way.
don't remember that. I never
Real
hated you.
friends.
Real friends, how many of us? I never hated you.
But in turn, we got to know each other, and it got
Right.
better over time.
And then we
Right.
bully other people.
Yeah, of course. Like I guess we're
Like
like
that
the
one
Suicide
guy.
Squad, except instead of like them being like criminals, we're just retarded people. And they
We're
just
the
pick kind
pencil
of like
shaving
yeah,
spot.
yeah.
Yeah, again,
And then,
led by Dr. Pencil Shaving, who
which is
did his
you.
doctorate on the, I don't know,
That's
taste of
enough.
pencil
Probably should
shavings.
stop. What the fuck are you on about?
You know how like they have those like smelling like pencils?
I
From
remember.
like first grade,
Yeah, I made of those. I ate those.
like Transformer.
Yeah, more the trans than the former, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. And then I guess what I introduced Michael to Lee and Trey in
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
The first.
2019.
Yeah.
Is that it?
It's 2018 or 2019. Because
Yeah.
I remember
think
we,
it's
we got in a,
2018.
I remember we got in a party together and we started doing what like the Xbox party messages.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, the
Yeah, we
the American Gestapo retards. I remember that.
American women Gestapo.
That's, that's what it was. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Without any context, it sounds really fucking scary. But
Pretty sure
That was
even with context, it sounds equally scary.
well, it's probably not good.
And it has women in it.
And then we just kind of have stupid conversations, and then all of a sudden we're like, "Wow, what if we like make a podcast?" And that came to
We just,
Yeah,
we
'cause
just have
everyone else is
random
doing it.
conversations some days.
I just
Exactly.
tried to mute myself because I was coughing. I didn't know if that was gonna catch on the recording.
How fucking dare you, dude?
I'm so
Yeah, if you
sorry.
ruin
Yeah.
the recording, I ruin your
Cough
liver.
into the mic.
God damn.
You never know. We got some cough fetishists out there. They might want to listen to it.
Just
Yeah,
cough
man.
fetishes.
Yeah, you never know.
If you have a
People are
stroke, we'll
into
say,
some weird shit. People are into coughs, boogers,
Feet.
booger
Well,
porn.
I can't tell if you're saying
I
cough.
guess feet compared to other shit, feet is not that weird.
Nah,
Like, it's
not
definitely- it's
pretty
definitely-
good.
Okay, listen, right? It's definitely the weirdest. It's definitely like one of the weirdest, but it's not
Yeah, definitely.
as weird as other things.
Well, I mean, if
Yeah.
you want to go like the route of like what's illegal, that's
That's not what I was talking about, but
well, are you going like strictly like legal, just like fetishes
Well, I'm
that
just-
are not like inherently bad? They're just weird.
Illegal.
well, like I definitely think a foot fetish is better than a fart fetish.
Oh yeah, I
Like
can
100
agree with
times.
that. But I don't know. The foot people are pretty fucking weird. I don't know if you know anything about the foot, like it's like Foot Wiki or something, and they like
Yeah.
they'll basically it's like any like snippet they can get of anyone's feet that is posted on there, and people like rate it and jerk off to it. Like
It's like the rate my poo thing.
yeah, but I don't know if that's sexual. I think people just do that because they're fucking weirdos.
I'm sure somebody probably gets off to that.
Yeah, there's probably somebody, but I don't think
Yeah,
it's
like,
as
crazy, like pieces of shit.
it's fucking. There's this female YouTuber that I fucking watch. She just like I won't say her name because I don't want her to be like uncomfortable. But if she ever sees, she won't. But if she ever were to, but anyway, I was like, oh, she's funny, whatever. So I looked her up to see like where she came from. Cause I'm like a stalker, and the first like fucking 5 search results is like pictures of her feet, and I'm like, come on, you fucking sick degenerates. It's like
The
what is
Bella
wrong with you?
Her
No.
fucking feet.
She's like I'll say her name, but you'll see it anyway. Her name's like I think it's Ashley like Burton. I think her name is. And I looked her up because I was like, oh, that's funny. I wonder if she has any other like like Facebook or anything. And yeah, on the images, it's like the first like 6 pictures are like feet. And I'm like, dude, y'all are fucking disgusting people.
Is she like a
Fucking
girl gamer
wow.
or?
I mean, I think she streams, so I guess you could say she is. But she basically just watches movies or some shit. That's what I watch her for. She so I guess she had like a sheltered childhood or some shit. So she's never seen movies before, so she'll see like, oh, I'm watching Exorcist for the first time. Like, oh, okay.
I kind of I like reaction videos to like a certain extent. Like I think it's interesting to see somebody's reaction, but it's also kind of like fucked up because you're stealing somebody else's content.
Yeah.
Money
Oh
off
boy,
of
we're
it.
getting
I
into
think
this one.
as long as you're crediting the person who made that content, you should be fine.
Right,
But,
and people
like,
know,
people
like, if you were to
know,
click on
like,
some
hey,
guy's reviewing a video, you know you didn't even make it.
well, like if I'm making
Yeah.
reaction content, right? Like in my mind, I feel like I'm making money off of somebody else's work. That's just kind of fucked up.
I mean, if you
Like
change
if
it,
they
like rework it,
like
I don't
if
know.
they if you talk to them and they're like, oh yeah, you can make a thing on it. Like I don't care. Then, you know, that's
Well,
I feel
see,
like that's
that's what I'm
fine.
saying. As long as you credit the person who made the content before you decided to react to it, you should be all right. But if you're
Right,
not
and
crediting the person, dude, that's fucked up.
it's just like I think that some of them, like I see, like the fucking, I've seen some reaction channels where they literally like, what is that guy that's mega popular and he
X-
shouldn't be? XQC, that
XQC?
exactly.
Yeah.
That guy literally like he does reactions, but he doesn't even do anything. He just watches it and moves on. It's like, dude, you didn't even say anything. It's like, how is that? Like at
See,
least with
if
like,
he
for
would be
example, the
like, hey,
Ashton
this
Burton,
person made this content, like, this is who I'm
right?
watching,
It's
and,
just
like,
people
does
like
some
submit videos. And
reaction to it,
yeah, it's not fucking good content, but that's YouTube nowadays. It's easy mode. Like I remember back in the day, like 2008, 9 and shit. Like we made videos because we were like having fun. But now it's like, oh yeah, man, gotta make a living, gotta fucking get money because I don't want to work. Like, dude, wow, it's like
you
fucking I
gotta
hate you
think how
people.
much money is being into a streamer
Oh,
nowadays. Like,
oh
the
yeah, of
deals
course.
are ridiculous nowadays. I mean,
I
if
don't
you're
blame them.
looking at, like, the ones on Kit or whatever it's called,
Kick?
or whatever,
Yeah,
they're making a shit ton of money. YouTubers make absurd amount of money. The only ones that really don't make much money are Twitch streamers, and even then, it's a weird contract that they have to have.
I wouldn't want to
They
be in
get
that
like a
business anyway.
70-30 deal.
That's fucking ass. I know a lot of them moved over to YouTube,
Well,
like the
because
H3
YouTube
podcast
does
and
like,
shit.
hey, whatever you make, that's yours. Like, we're allowing y'all
I
to
think they
stream
still
on
keep
here,
a little bit, but it's definitely not as like one sided.
but it's a lot bigger of a number on them letting you keep than it is on Twitch. Twitch, they're just like, yeah, you're gonna take that, even for streamers who have been streaming for a long time on Twitch.
Right.
That's why most of them were like, yeah, no, let's move to YouTube. And plus, YouTube, you get a little bit more of stretching room to do stuff. Twitch, it's like locked down. You can't say certain things. You can't do certain things completely. It's like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to. If I was like a big time streamer guy or whatever, I don't think I'd want to be involved with.
At least Twitch brought us the hot tub streaming or kiddie pool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true. Without Twitch, we wouldn't have
that's
that.
essentially what that streaming site is used for nowadays.
Pretty fucking nasty. But I guess should we get to the origins of the name? We kind of went over like a brief summary of the backstory. What about the name of the podcast itself? Is it just the reason why it's called pencil shaving? Michael, you want to go ahead and explain?
I mean, it's named after me, but I don't really
Yeah, of
particularly
course.
know why.
Because he has the IQ of a fucking pencil shaving.
What the
Oh,
fuck
wow,
did
that
he?
took all
What did
5
he say?
seconds.
What did he say that?
We were
was,
we were playing Minecraft. I remember that. I don't know exactly
Only
what it
bad
was that he
decisions happen
fucking
when you play Minecraft.
basically. That's Lion Tamer.
We
The
were
fucking
playing.
name is.
We were playing Minecraft. And
What did he say?
yeah,
What did?
I don't remember. It was something really stupid though. Like, it was,
You
it
know how
was so
that
out
you
of
know,
pocket. It
was
was
it
so
about, like
bad.
John Murphy and like the guy who fought a train?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
what it
was.
was.
The guy who
Yeah,
fought
so,
the train.
so there's the classic story of John Henry, the guy that went and fought the train or some shit and he lost or he won. I don't know. I
He
remember.
won. Like, the story is the guy beats the train, but he ends up dying
He
shortly
uses
after.
Oh,
the
fucking
Black Mamba
sorry. Fucking
power, the
RL's
Black
fine. I didn't know.
Panther.
I don't fucking know books or stories. Anyways.
Read a
All right,
book,
I'm back.
bitch.
Maybe that's why I fucking pencil shaving. But anyway, then he tried to say that guy's name was like John Murphy, and then he tries to say that like Bill Murray is like a famous like black NBA player or some shit like that.
Yes.
John
And I
Murphy, the
forgot-
man who fought a train.
Yeah. And then I forgot there was some other stupid shit that he said, but eventually it got to the point to where I got so infuriated. I was like, "You're like a fucking pencil shaving out there," and he was just like, and everybody, it just kind of stuck. And what do you?
Yeah, you're like you have the IQ of a pencil shaving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember what the
Things.
fuck, dude. I'm trying so hard to remember what the fuck he said.
I'm not. I think
Yeah, there's
there's
one
so
about
many
like
retarded
Alf.
shit. Oh, I remember. I don't even know how Alf got brought up. Like fucking some forgotten '90s icon, like ate cats and shit. And all of a sudden he's brought up. I don't know.
It's something like that.
It was something about fucking. I don't remember how Alf was. I don't remember how half the shit we. How the fuck did Bill Murray come up? How the fuck did John Murphy? Not John Murphy. See, now I'm becoming.
And so it
I'm
spread.
becoming Pennsylvania.
And so
Yeah,
it
it's like a
started.
fucking.
It's like a disease.
Because there's been an awakening. Have you felt it?
I think I'm trying. I don't remember the exact point to where I mentioned that he had the IQ of pencil shaving, but ever since then it's stuck because we all
It's
realized, hey,
kind of stuck through.
he has a pencil shaving IQ, so do we. So I think
Yeah,
he
we-
kind of
Yeah,
we
here's a
definitely
ladder. Get down to my level.
trust me. No, thank you.
do.
I'm okay.
We're already there.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll
But,
just drag you all down with me.
No, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll happen soon. Don't worry. What else? What else can we talk about in relation to like the origins of the show?
That's it, really. Or then you wanted
Yeah.
we wanted
Yeah,
to
we
chase
just
the hype
decided,
train
hey-
between podcasts.
Well, we were like, hey, let's start a podcast because we're pretty stupid. People might
They were
listen,
pretty
they may
stupid people.
not. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. There's not really.
I
We're
think
probably
we-
not gonna. I'm
I
sure
think
we're
we
gonna
had
have
a-
some moments where it's.
I think we did have a point where we were trying to decide what the name was gonna be, and then we
oh
stuck
god,
with
yeah,
pencil
that was
shaving.
Pencil shaving because it's stuck so well, and even people probably won't get it until they hear the origins of the name. They'll be like, "Oh, okay."
Oh,
Now
I get it. I get
But
it.
it just sounds like a fucking like.
Yeah,
It's like a
a
number.
podcast dedicated to pencil shavings.
It's like Ticonderoga sponsored fucking podcast, like about all about pencils.
Hey, please, nerds, sponsor us. Get me those like nerd smelling like or pencils.
You don't even bring up fucking. I remember how obsessed you used to be with those fucking nerds. You talking about like the fucking candy nerds?
Yeah, no, I mean
Yeah,
actual
fuck that
nerds.
shit. Oh, okay. I thought you
Fucking
were talking
obsessed
about
I
the
with-
candy
was,
nerds.
you idiot.
Oh. Okay, there's another example.
yeah, that,
Telling you that's pretty fucking.
Yeah, I
Pretty-
want every nerd to sponsor us, or just the group nerds.
Well, if we want, do we want to move on to what our subject of today's show is going to be, which is going to be some work horror stories? I
Oh,
think
yeah,
we all
definitely
have.
do that.
Let's go into
Okay,
that.
who wants
Uh,
to start? Who wants to start?
Trey,
I have
Trey,
a
you want
good
to start
one
us
that
off?
happened to me like 20.
I
I'll
know you've
start
got
us
some
off.
stories.
Let's go Trey.
You gotta have some.
Trey has so many.
oh
You gotta
yeah.
start off with you can't start off mild, Trey. This has to be some fucking juicy like shit, like some smelly fucking like on the sidewalk, San Francisco.
Okay,
shit.
Or that case, I had a
I got
good
you
one.
a good one. Okay, I used to work at Sonic. Like I've worked at two Sonics. We had this car hop, and she was a bit bigger of a girl. We'll say it like that. And nobody really liked her because she was kind of a bitch, and she kind of stared at everybody a lot. It was like really uncomfortable. Like
It's probably not
everybody
all
was
there.
uncomfortable. Well, we used to have a break room in the back. We had a break room, and the bathroom was like one room over. So we would always go eat in the break room when we had our breaks. We noticed she was going towards the break room, so we didn't think anything of it. Come to find out, she was eating in the bathroom. Eating her food in the bathroom,
damn it.
sitting on the toilet.
God,
And
I did.
What?
Yeah,
That's
it
kind of
was
epic.
it was weird. She came out the bathroom, and apparently the GM at the time was checking through the cameras, and there was toilet paper hanging out her backside. And it was
Oh my
God.
god.
covered with some substance.
Oh,
Dude.
oh.
Needless to
Nah.
say that, yeah, we had to send her home, and we
That is
had
like a
to
Snorlax.
essentially disinfect the entire front of the store.
That is so
Did
disgusting.
she get fired? Like, did they let her go?
Please tell me.
We
Oh, they put her down.
well, we called the supervisor.
That's fucking killed her.
We called the supervisor, Supervisor comes in mad because she's like, that's a big health hazard. What are you doing? And then the girl proceeded to say, well, I have nowhere else to sit. We had a stool in the break room. And she was like, okay, that's fine. Don't worry about showing up tomorrow. You'll have your paycheck
I mean,
tomorrow.
honestly, I might just break like a toothpick. So, I mean,
Yeah. That's
But
pretty fucking
we
gross.
ended up letting her go like right after that.
Those
yeah,
disgusting.
you killed her, and then you put her into the smoothies.
It was
Fucking you. Yeah, take her use like. No, I won't say it. I don't want to go there.
Yeah,
No, say it, Michael.
please
no,
don't.
no.
Please don't say it.
all
I
right.
won't- I won't-
Anybody
don't worry
else
about
got a good one?
Lee, you want to go?
I can tell y'all how I became a manager. That one's a pretty interesting one.
That sounds
So
I'm all for it.
before I was a manager, obviously I was a team trainer at Wendy's. I am now a manager at Wendy's, and it's fucking hell. So one night I'm working with one of the other managers, Sandra, who also happened to be a bigger woman.
What is with it? If the bigger women are taking over the podcast
Working
today,
at Wendy's and like
And-
Sonic, what would you expect?
And and
You want like Bella the Fiend giving you your fucking Sonic order?
I'd rather have a big woman. To be fair.
You highly have some like fucking. I'll go. I won't say it.
Yeah, you don't need to. Don't worry.
No, but fuck, I don't even remember what escalated up to that point. But she ended up calling the police on a customer.
Didn't she get in an argument with the customer because he didn't understand her? She didn't understand him.
I have no clue.
Wasn't
Either
it
way,
that?
the
It was
cops-
something like that.
The cops sided with her, and she comes back and she's fucking bawling. She's like, "Oh, why is my life so horrible?" and shit like that. And then she fucking, dude, she literally went in the back, shut everything off. She's like, "Shit, we're closed. We're going home." I was like, "Fucking shit,
What?
okay." But my boss Ed, he calls me, I don't give a shit. I'm just gonna toss out his name. He calls me. He's like, "Hey, boss, what happened?" I was like, "Oh, well, it's fucking. She called the cops on somebody. The cops sided with the customer. She's upset. She's leaving." He's like, "Can you do me a favor and close the store for me, boss?" I was like, "Fine, fuck." So I ended up closing. It fucking sucked because I was practically doing that shit by myself. And I texted my boss the next morning. I was like, "Yeah, this was my final week." Because I was fixing to just like leave and go to Home Depot. But then he was like, "Come in, boss, and we'll come and talk to you." And I was like, "Shit, okay." So I went in. I talked to him. He's like, "Yeah, so because of what you did last night, we're thinking about promoting you to manager." It's like, "Oh shit, okay." Worst mistake of my fucking life, but hey, I'm a manager at Wendy's. Anybody else got a
Best
story?
manager around.
I probably.
I'll take over, Michael. You can take over after me. But I worked at a stupid fucking gas station called Toot and Totem for like 3 years, and I guess I have two. They're not really long. They kind of happen. There's been so much shit there. There was like a cult that used to pray in the back of our like store.
A cult?
They used to bring they literally. So we had like the drive-through set up, and there was like a large thing where the drive-through was outside of it. And I have picture proof of this. There used to be a cult that would park their pickup there or like a truck, and they'd get like a little like a fucking, I don't know. It's like a rug, a giant rug.
Ku Klux Klan meeting.
No, they were wearing like all black. They were like ninjas, and they fucking just like they put like a rug down. And they just start like praying on it, and we're like, what the fuck? We were recording them one time. One of them turned around and looked at us. We were like, oh shit. But the two that I wanted to tell, there's several, but there was one where me and this guy named, not going to say it, Presley. Anyway, we were sitting there and we were working, and all of a sudden, like, it was on during the winter of 2020 because COVID and because of the weather. There was like nobody. Like literally, we could sit there and have like 2 customers the whole night. And so this guy comes in the store, and a guy holds the door open for him. And he comes in and he's riding a fucking unicycle and he's playing a fucking harmonica attached to his head. And he's riding around the store just playing the harmonica and riding the unicycle around the store.
What the fuck?
And I'm just sitting there like, what's going on? And then Presley's like cheering him on. And he's like, yeah, you go, guy. And I'm like, what? Why are you cheering him?
Like, you don't know who the
He's
fuck
not supposed
this
to
is.
be
He
in
just
here.
rode it in the store on a unicycle.
Yeah.
That's so fucking
Yeah.
weird.
And then he's just sitting there cheering him. And I'm like crying, laughing in the fucking corner, trying to like understand. And anyway, so he leaves and that's not a big deal. And then I guess this was like late 2022, this last one. It was like December or January of 2022. And fucking, so it's freezing cold outside. Fucking, I'm worried about my car if it's going to start or not so I can get the fuck home. And we're already closed up. It's like 11:59 or some shit. And the homeless guy comes running to the door and like runs into it trying to get in. And I just ignore him. And so I'm like, whatever. And I fucking, finish closing and everything. The other chick I was working with gets in her car to leave. I go to my car to leave. I open my car door. I put my bag in the passenger seat. I'm about to get in. All of a sudden, I hear a voice from the back seat say, "Don't get mad. I'm just trying to get warm." And I go, "Are you in my fucking car?" And he's like, "Don't get mad." And I'm just like, "Dude, you better get the fuck out of my car before I beat the shit out of you." And then he gets out and he's walking away. And I'm like, I wouldn't have. But I was like, if you would have asked me, I might have actually let you in my car to get warm for a little bit. Like I said, I wouldn't. But I'm just trying to make him realize that maybe he should ask people because I could have killed him and got away with it,
Yeah.
But then the guy goes on some shit about like how you don't know what it's like, and I'm like, I'm not your fucking dad. And I call the police and everything. The police don't care. They're like, "Oh, you already left?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, okay." I don't really.
A white one. We don't care.
Yeah, I was a white guy.
Yeah,
If I
that's
told him it was
typically
like a black guy, oh, dude.
it's typically what happens because actually I'll go around. I'll do it when it's my turn around.
Okay, Michael, do you have any?
Yes, there's one that you might remember from like 2019 where I used to work at that nature park and I got terrorized by the black grasshoppers.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. The wildcat bluff. Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck.
so one of my duties I had to do at the job was I had to go on the nature trails and make sure everything was all right because they were also renting out their land to like some like cattle ranchers. And in the fall, I was terrorized, but I don't even know what they were. They're like these all like like deep black like grasshoppers that if you step next to
Crickets?
them, well, I'm
No,
pretty sure.
trust me. These were like mutated fucking like zombie things.
Zombie
Yeah, if you step
things.
near to them, unlike most other grasshoppers, they didn't care. You could stand right next to them and they wouldn't give a shit.
Yeah, they were fucking. Just go ahead, Mike. I don't mean to interrupt you. But just
Yeah,
fucking
and so
continue. I just
to the point where you would step on them, they would fly up in your face and they would like or hop and then open up their wings that would for whatever godforsaken reason would make a weird like crackling sound.
That
Fly in your
sounds.
face or try and hit you in the face and then land back on the path again 2 feet in front of you and you have to do it all over again. And then they would gang up in groups of like 10 or 20 of them.
It's like, hey, yo, this motherfucker's trying to step
there
on
was
me.
that one time. It was like fucking. What was it? When did me, you, and Cooper go for like a? We went a couple times, but when did we go for that one walk where they literally like ambushed us? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. It was like it was either fall or spring.
Whenever it was, me, Michael, and our other friend Cooper were our other. Well, I guess I don't know what you would call him now. He's kind of a friend, kind of not a friend. Anyway.
Acquaintance.
Acquaintance, yeah, that's a good way of putting it. But them were walking through the fucking, path or whatever, and they're wearing pants because they're intelligent. I'm wearing shorts because I always wear shorts like an idiot. And fucking, there's like a giant, like they almost built like a wall for us to not get past. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? And there's literally like, and these aren't just like regular grasshoppers or crickets or whatever, but these are like fucking giants. Like, I'm talking about, like, palm of your hand size motherfuckers. Like, I've never seen anything like it. And yeah, like Michael said, once you got close to them, they didn't really care. And if you fucking got too close, they would just start jumping at you and then make that fucking noise. It sounded like fucking TV static.
Yeah, and it's very
Jesus.
loud. And they have like, whenever they open their wings, they have like orange spots on them. I guess like eye spots, and they just fly up in your face and then land 2 feet in front of you, and you have to do it all over again.
Oh, damn it.
Right, and they probably can't harm you. It's more of just a psychological thing, but
I
it's just fucking frightening regardless.
I just don't like things flying at my
I can
face.
definitely imagine that.
Yeah,
Fuck, what is
it's
that?
Yeah,
fucking.
that is quite.
There it is.
And especially whenever there's a whole bunch of them, because they would also do it to where if one goes off, then a whole bunch of them will go off after that.
Yeah, like a fucking mousetrap kind of thing.
And so that made the anxiety go up every week when I had to do that.
Fuck,
All right, I got another good one for y'all.
I'm ready.
So, yeah, this has happened at my most recent Sonic when I was a manager. I'm no longer working there. So we had this kid Jesse, and the first time I met this kid, I knew he was going to be an issue. I just knew it. You know how you meet certain people and you're like, I don't think he's going to work out. Doesn't seem like.
Oh, yeah.
Well, apparently in the interview he had, for some odd reason, they told him he was gonna become a manager instantly. The thing is, it took me almost 3 years to become a manager at that place. Like, it took me a while. So I was already pissed if they told him that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, this kid just kept every day. I'm gonna become a manager, and I was like, all right, whatever. I'm trying to ignore it. Trying to run the store. We were having issues keeping staff already, and I remember one day we were working. I ended up running the entire drive-through, the expedite, drinks, car hop, all that stuff myself. And he stood around and did nothing. Well, a few days later, we had 3 cooks in the back. I had a fully staffed up store for once. It was rare occurrence that I had that. Well, I look back and all 3 cooks are just standing around. And we were slow, so I was like, hey, if we're standing around, let's find something to clean, let's wipe, let's make sure everything's ready to go. So if we do get busy, we don't have to do it later, we don't have to stay late, we get out on time for once. And they were like, okay, 10 minutes go by. Look back there, they're still standing there talking. I was like, hey, I can look right now and I see 6 things that need to be cleaned up right now. I need y'all to do something. And that kid pops off. Okay, we get it. We're going to do it. I was like, all right, well, I ain't seeing it. Like, obviously you're not doing it because I'm not seeing it. And I was being polite up until this point. Like, I was being nice. I wasn't being my usual self. I was trying to be respectful of everybody. And he starts arguing with me, telling me I need to check myself before I talk to anybody else. Which is stupid because at my store, we believe the manager really doesn't have to do much. They're there to facilitate the store. That's really all that we're there for. To make sure the store runs right, the store makes money. That's all we're there for. We're not really supposed to be doing any of the cleaning or anything like that. That was their belief. I mean, I still did it. I didn't have to do it, but I still did it to show the crew, hey, I'm still, I will still work next to y'all, even when we're in the shit. Well, he starts arguing. I'm telling him to shut up, and we eventually get in a screaming match. Then he starts saying he's from the street, and that I don't want the smoke. Give a little background on this guy. He looked like a white kid from the suburbs. Like, I'm serious. He looked like he grew up with money. And kids giving issues. I had to call my boss.
Looks like he grew up spoon-fed.
Get her to come. Shh. Oh, yeah. Silver spoon in hand. This is what this kid looked like.
Fucking
Well,
Trump.
call my boss. She hears them arguing. Says, all right, I'll be right there. She had to leave her kid with her mother. Drive all the way up here. She whips in the building. Slams the door to her car. So I know she's pissed off. Like, this is a single mother of 3. So I'm already stepping out the way. Because I'm not getting in trouble here. She walks in. Where the fuck is Jesse? So he's back there. She goes back there. He starts arguing with her. and then starts saying, I'm about to have Trey's job, I'm about to have your job, this is ridiculous. She was like, look, you can either leave the store now, still keep your job, you're just going to have to apologize and do that whole train of things. Or if you don't leave, I'm calling, at the time, the supervisor, what was his name? Casey. She was going to call Casey, he wasn't going to have a job. Casey doesn't answer, so we have to call the area supervisor. His name's Greg. Greg's a real cool guy. Greg tells her, all right, tell him if he does not leave when I get there, he will not have a job at all at any Sonic owned by Castle Bear. And refuses to leave. Like, it's bad. Like, it's still screaming match. Like, it's bad going on. Like, the people on my shift were freaked out. And the supervisor shows up, he talks to the GM, talks to another person, talks to me. I explained to him what happened, and, I said all my piece. And the guy goes out there, looks like he's recording the conversation, and then proceeds to say he's going to go to HR. Doesn't realize the supervisor he was talking to has worked at Sonic since the HR lady had started at Sonic. Like, they've both been there for 20 plus years. He said he was going on like his 23rd year at the time. Yeah, so like, he's telling the supervisor, I'm going to have your job, I'm going to have Darcy's job, I'm going to have Trey's job, this is ridiculous. And going off. And I'm just like, oh my god. Then he proceeds to say he was a nepotist. Calls the supervisor nepotist. I don't even think he knew what nepotism is.
Probably not.
And then he calls him a man-child. Proceeds to call the supervisor a man-child. And I was like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, all this is going down. And this is on, like, a Friday night when we're supposed to be busy. Supervisor comes in with the GM. They had to let him go. He looks directly at me and he says, look, if he shows up, you call the cops immediately. He is not allowed on the property ever again. If he shows up, you call the cops and let him know he's trespassing. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then he says, all right, we're going to cut him a check now. We're not waiting until payday. We're cutting his check now and we're giving him his money and he's leaving. He calls, I guess a few hours later, he calls me. Yeah, keep that same energy when you close, because I'll be up there to beat your ass. It's like, bro, it's just a job.
Did he ever show up?
No, never showed up. I had to
Okay.
call my boss.
Yeah, I remember.
I called my boss. I was like, hey, just to let you know, he threatened to show up. So, be prepared tomorrow if I have to call you, call the cops and stuff. The entire time. And then he texts one of the kids, I guess, later on that night. It was my cook, and he told the kid, tell the truth. Don't be lying to anybody.
God damn.
Like, I don't know what was going through this dude's mind, but he thought he was better than everybody. He tried to say he was a part of the military. Tried to say he was from the streets.
Well, speaking of memorable Jessies, do we want to bring up Jesse from our high school?
Oh god.
God.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Before we start that, hang on. I got one more work related story.
Perfect.
So, we had this one lady. I swear to God, she did not know how to do her fucking shit. She should not have become a manager at Wendy's. I will just say that. Because when I first met her, she was nice, she was cool. But she kept trying to, like, boss me around as if I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. When I had worked there for, what, like, 2.5 years at that point?
Yeah, so you know what you're doing.
Yeah, of course.
But, dude, fucking hand, sorry, I clear my throat. So, this fucking lady, I swear to God, she did everything fucking wrong. We'd have, like, fucking huge bags of fucking food. I had, like, fucking 8 sandwiches in there. She'd be like, you put 3 napkins in there. Like, motherfucker, 3 napkins ain't gonna fucking work for 8 sandwiches. Like, I'd put at
What am I
least.
gonna do? Tear a corner off and like use that to wipe myself off?
It's like clean up your mouth a little bit.
Like use it for origami.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah,
smear
exactly.
the fucking ketchup around. Jesus Christ.
Like Dark Side Phil.
Fucking no, dude. But like, oh my god. And I don't even know if she knew it though. She was like mad racist. She was mad
Oh
racist.
God!
Which he didn't know.
Dude, like, I don't know. I honestly don't. Cause like, there like one time in specific, well actually two times. The first time was one of our employees she was like fighting with like a customer or something, not like not a physical altercation, but like verbal. So she's sitting there having this argument with this customer, and I guess things got a little bit heated. One of our employees, I guess, she freaked out and she left. I'm assuming she must have had like a panic attack or something. But I remember she's talking to me like, I think later that night, or maybe it was like the next day or something. And she's like, "Oh, like I think it's because it was like her kind, they're criminals." And like I'm like, "Excuse me?"
God.
I was like, "Bro, like you cannot be saying that. Like that's
Dude,
like
that's
that wasn't
impressive.
like that one was understandably racist. The one I was confused about, like I guess it gets me confused on whether or not she knows, is because there was one time I was there for this, but I didn't witness what happened. But Kim, the lady I'm talking about, her and Sandra, the big lady, they're working together one night, and I guess because the customer handed her a 20, and she was like, "Oh, you handed me a 10." She thought that the customer handed her a 10, which I don't. I guess she must have just checked it into the register and then forgotten that he had handed her a 20. And she's like, "Oh, you handed me a 10," like, and then she starts calling him a monkey. He was a black man.
Black guy.
Yeah.
Oh,
What and like the confusion for me is like I don't know if she's calling him a monkey because she thinks he's stupid, or if it's because he's black.
what was his reaction to that?
He certainly was not happy. I will say that.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Fucking wow.
It's fucking. This woman was like insane. And I remember the first couple times they had me open this store, like it was because she would close the previous night and then open up, or I would open up the next day. The first time that I'd opened up after her shift, she left all the Frosties on, so those were no longer good. We had to get rid of all that. And then she left the chili up front with the thing on, so the chili was burnt. And I lifted up the thing. There's spilt chili under the thing that they just left there. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You can't be doing this shit. Like it's, oh my god.
I got one for y'all.
And I got a couple more.
No, I'm saying like I got a good one for y'all. Y'all are gonna like it.
And like she didn't they didn't take out the trash either. Like pretty much there was like a bunch of shit that just wasn't done. And like this was also before I became a manager. When I closed with her, dude, she would like it was like the store would close, she'd like wipe down the counters and then she would leave. Which is like it's a big fucking no. The managers are supposed to be the last ones to leave the store. And she was always the first one out. So I'd have to sit there with everybody as the team trainer and make sure everybody else left because she didn't want to stay. Fucking. All right, Trey, you can tell yours. That bitch drive me nuts, dude.
So I had this manager at the time. I'll say her name for y'all. Her name is Kat. This woman acted like she knew what she was talking about at times, and then completely the opposite end of the spectrum at others. we got a lot of homeless people that used to come up and they would sit in our, porch, and it was fine. As long as they weren't being disruptive or destructive, we didn't care. But apparently we were busy. I think it was on a Saturday night, I want to say, and I hadn't become a manager at the time. I was just a team lead and a cook. That was my objectives. Well, I was working, we were busy, we were trying to get orders out, and these two homeless people, I guess they were boyfriend or girlfriend or something, were yelling at each other in the patio. Usually they would send me out to go tell people, hey, guys need to leave. Like, keep the females in the store, you guys need to go take care of it real quick, y'all need to leave. And I'll go to take out of this woman comes out of the bathroom, runs to the front of the store, runs outside and starts screaming at these homeless people. Like, screaming, get the off, y'all need to start arguing, and like yelling. Meanwhile, there's customers all up in the stalls with their windows. I was like, Kat, you need to go back inside and let me handle the situation. Like, you're making the situation worse. She was like, no, they're just being stupid. They don't understand how to act. Why these two are still standing in front of us. And it was all over a couple bucks. It was all over $2. We get inside. So I go to call the GM at the time. Her name was Belinda. So I go to call Belinda to let her know what happened. Like, hey, they need to talk to Kat. This woman, then the GM comes up. Then she tries to say, well, they were threatened to fight each other and stab each other, and I saw a weapon. I was like, girl, there was no weapon. All they were yelling about was at $2 at each other. All we had to tell them was to get off the property. That's all you had to do. Just leave or we'll call the cops. That's all you gotta say. And she's just screaming still. What ended up happening, she gets sent home. I have to close the store. And my GM has to wait up there with me while she's got 6 kids at home with her husband. We didn't end up leaving the store till almost 12. We closed at 10 o'clock at that time. Because she was just, this woman was a whole new, different person. It was awful. Then she tried to say that, yeah, she had a weapon, and I was like, no, they didn't have a single weapon in their hands. She was like, well, it's homeless people. I don't trust them.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
I was like, girl, you can't say that in front of customers. Like, how would you like it if you went out to eat and that's what you heard when you were trying to eat your food?
Well, Michael, do you have any more work stories before we move on to the Jesse Chronicles?
There was that one time whenever I got intensely stared at by a roadrunner.
I don't think you told me about that ever.
No, I didn't tell you that one.
Oh my, what happened?
Yeah. One of the other things I had to do is that they had a lot of bird feeders out there for all the birds that were there. And apparently the roadrunner had figured out who was the person that was supposed to refill those bird feeders. And I hadn't done it yet, so I was sitting at because I was working on a project for little school children that were going to there. And I kept hearing this really annoying tapping sound right behind me. I just kept ignoring it. Until eventually I couldn't take it anymore. I turned around and there was this one really big roadrunner just sitting right on the other side of the window pane, just staring wide-eyed right at me. I start getting up and it slowly watches me go to the door.
They're pretty dangerous, right?
I mean, they're pretty. It was a big male one. And another time I saw him staying on top of my car.
He wasn't gonna let your ass leave.
So yeah, I got up and he watched me slowly leave the room, and then he came in and met me at the door, or he at least was not at the door. He wasn't that tame, but he was looking around the corner at me, making sure I did.
You gonna fill it up?
Yeah, basically. And after that, I didn't forget to do it. I did it at the appropriate time, and I never had. It was never unhappy again.
Well, that's nice
It's
of him.
like, you better fill
Yeah,
that up right now.
that was even better because like the person who owns it has like two cats that she had like rescue cats, and one of them was infatuated with me to where the cat used to like to groom my hair. Like it would
Well,
sit
that's
on the
kind of
back of
epic.
my chair and just constantly just lick my hair. And the cat wasn't very happy. It started growling, and that's when I noticed the thing was at the window pane, like literally pecking at the window, trying to get my attention to go feed it.
I got
Wow.
a few more stories. They're awful.
Well, I guess before we'll get back to the work stories. I think let's just go ahead and throw
Yeah,
the
let's.
Jesse stories out there. Uh, so there was a kid that we went to school with. He was like I think he was a grade lower than we were, and his name was Jesse. And this guy, I actually there was one time where before there was any drama or anything with him, I went to the library one time for I don't remember why. I think I would just maybe I was in trouble or something. I don't remember. And he was in there, and he for some reason talked to me, and we had a pretty good conversation. I didn't know his name, but I was like, "Oh, hey, it's a pretty cool guy." Then later on, the next year, I had a class with him with my friend Kagan, and the reason I mentioned Kagan because he's part of the story. And anyway, so the teacher we had was fucking nuts. She literally left at the end of the year because she literally was like fucking clinically like fucking not well. I don't remember exactly what all happened. Lee, do you remember? Because you were in the same class.
Well, I wasn't in the same class as
Miss
him,
Flores.
but I was in the class after him. I, if I remember right, he let Matthew copy off of his paper, and because Matthew needed help with the fucking shit, so he let Matthew copy off the paper, and she gave Matthew a higher grade even though they had the same answers.
I think we're talking about two different stories.
Wait, oh maybe.
I was talking about Miss Flores.
Oh,
Whenever
Miss
she
Flores.
went
Oh
crazy.
shit. Oh no 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 no. I was thinking about Miss Simmons. I thought you were talking about Miss Simmons. I kind of blanked out. I was watching.
No, no, whatever happened to Miss Flores, basically she went crazy at the end of the year. I don't remember, but anyway, so me and Kagan, she was not a good teacher even when she was like sane. And so there was one time where me and my friend Kagan, we were talking shit about her, uh, and little Jesse was in the corner, and he's like a little teacher's pet, like stereotypical teacher's pet. Like literally, all he was missing was like the giant glasses. Um, but anyway, me and him are talking shit, and the next day or next couple of days, one of the days, we come back into class, and before class even starts, she like singles me and Kagan out. And is like, I need to see you two in the hall right now. And we're like, all right, fucking loon. And so we walk out there, and she's like, so I heard you guys were talking mess about. That's what she said, talking mess about me. And we were like, yeah, we were. We were honest with her. And she's like, why? She's like, well, we don't think you're a very good teacher. And she was like,
Huh.
well, keep it to yourself or whatever she said. And anyway, so the next period I had was chemistry, or I think it was chemistry. Anyway, this Jesse kid was in it, and so I just go up to him. And keep in mind at the time, this guy's like 120 pounds, maybe 120 pounds. But if he would be like, if he was wearing like a heavy jacket that was wet, maybe he'd be 120 pounds. At the time, I've lost a lot of weight, but at the time, I was like this gigantic 250-pound football player guy, like very
Let me tell
big.
you, it hurts to get hit by him.
Yeah, I was a big guy. But anyway, so I go up to this Jesse kid, and I'm not mean. I'm just kind of curious. I'm like, hey, did you happen to say anything to Miss Flores about me and Kagan talking shit? Keep in mind, even Kagan being as small as he was pretty small. He was still pretty
He's pretty
jacked.
stout.
He was a
He's pretty
stout
stout.
kid. Yeah, he wasn't not jacked. Don't get me wrong. Just because he was like not tall doesn't mean he wasn't.
He still was pretty stout
Yeah,
for his height.
and so anyway, me and Kagan go up to him, and I'm just like, "Hey, man, did you mention to Miss Flores that we talk shit on her?" And he was like, "Theoretically, if I did, what are you gonna do about it?" And I'm like, "Dude, I'm not gonna fucking fight you. I would end you. Like, I would fucking like crush you." And then I forgot what happened next. I think he said, "Yes, I did," and then I don't think he ever apologized. But anyway, the best part of the story is not that. That's pretty interesting. Nothing ever happened from that. But anyway, there was a kid named Bryant. I won't say his last name, but he was a fucking giant. Okay, this kid
He
was
was
like
massive. He
this
was
kid was
massive.
he was squatting 315 and benching in the 200s in like 8th grade, and just big. He probably in 8th grade he probably was like, I would say he's over 300 pounds, and not like a fat 300 pounds, like a
No,
big
it was
like
like a solid
yeah.
build of 300 pounds.
And so anyway, like I said, the fucking guy, you know, is small, but Brian is big. So I guess there's some kind of altercation that happens on the bus.
They
And
get in an
Jesse,
argument or something.
yeah,
That's
something
what
about
it
a
was.
bus seat or something. And anyway,
Yeah,
this
it was about
Jesse
a
guy
bus
tries
seat.
to fight this 300-pound mass of a guy, Bryant. And Bryant fucking creams him. I don't remember if he I think he just punched him
Okay.
once or
What
something. I
happened
don't.
was Jesse, I guess, okay, if you're gonna hit a big dude, at least go for the face or something. Like, at least make it worth the hit. This kid Jesse decides to hit this guy in the stomach, of all places. And apparently, Bryant had looked at him and just smiled and started beating his face in.
And
Why
Brian was like a
this?
calm guy usually. Like he was not like a
Yeah,
mean
but he
person.
started beating the hell out of Jesse. Well, I got you a good Jesse story. Michael, you remember me in chemistry. I sat towards the back, like I was
Mm-hmm.
away from everybody. I had to sit by him. Well, I grew up poor. I never got my own Chromebook, so I had to use the school's Chromebook, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we were doing some paperwork that day. I don't remember. It was something with a bunch of math problems. I'm not good at math. I'm gonna be 100% honest. Not good at math. Math is not my strong forte. Don't do it. Well, I think it was Simmons had came to talk to me or whatever, help me with the issue, with the problem or whatever. And she was like, "What's 8 times 8?" And before I could get the words out of my mouth, Jesse screams, 64. You know how I know that? Minecraft.
Oh God.
I was straight. I told her, I was like, "Can I move seats? Like,
Dude,
get me away from this abomination of a man."
dude, I swear, Miss Simmons fucking loved me for no fucking reason, bro. I swear to God.
Thought you were a
Like,
cutie.
Okay,
Cutie patootie.
that would have been
Yeah, well, yeah.
that would have been
Let's
an
make
act
it
of
sound as
pedophilia.
weird as possible.
Yeah, that would have been an act of pedophilia, Trey. I listen. I know that's your thing, but
hey, hey,
How's
you
that mute?
can't say that. Highland Park, how many teachers slept with their students at Highland
Coach
Park?
Pitt, never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
I one.
There was Edwards. There was Edwards.
Okay,
There's
don't say him on
Pinto
fucking the thing, Trey. That's like
That's like
defamation.
get their dude. They've been doing it for a while.
We're doxing.
Yeah, I know, but that's
Like,
a lawsuit.
Yeah,
if
we'll
they ever hear
we
this.
can censor it out later.
Probably
Bartholomew
since
cut
all the
that.
names we say out.
Yeah, we got to go through. There's a bunch of names we got to go blend.
Bartholomew cut that. Cut that out now.
Who the
Yeah,
fuck is
cut it out
Bartholomew?
of
Is that our
stream.
like? Is that our like?
Yeah, it's
like
our
fan-
editor, Bartholomew.
I
Bartholomew.
call him
Along-
Bart. Bart
Bartholomew.
cut it out.
Dude,
Along
yeah,
with
no,
Garfield.
Miss Simmons, dude. I swear to God, she loved me for no reason. Cause like I would like fail her class, right? I'd go and talk to her after class. I was like, is there any like extra credit or something I can do? And she's like, yeah, I'll get you some extra credit. She didn't give me extra credit. She just raised my grade. I was just like, okay,
hated
shit, that
me.
works.
She's a fucking weirdo. She really likes some people. She really like. I remember that's what you were talking about earlier, Lee. Is when fucking Kagan just went the fuck off on her, and everybody was like silently clapping in their fucking head.
Dude, she
They were
fucking
like,
hated. She hated TJ. Dude, I had class with TJ, dude. She fucking hated him. I swear to God. Like
What happened?
like it's just like he wouldn't I don't even know. He would just fucking screw around most of the time. And then she'd get so pissed at him. And
I can see it in my head.
all TJ would do is just laugh.
And that probably pissed her off even more. Oh, stupid bitch!
Oh,
I hate
man.
her.
Oh, dude, you know what teacher I do miss though? Doe?
No.
You know
Why
what
the
did
fuck
you
would
do,
you say
Miss
that?
Doe?
What's wrong
Hi,
with you?
Homer Simpson. Calm down there.
Dude, I miss
You
Miss
do be missing
Tipton.
teachers, though.
Miss Tipton, dude. I miss her.
Yeah, she
dude.
was hot.
Yeah, dude. I would fuck her.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was
Hard F.
fucking... She had weird eyes, though. She had, like, wondering eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Dude, I
She
miss
had, like,
Mr. Stewart, dude. He was fucking chill.
remember Mr. Duran? Oh, my God, the teleporting Mr. Duran story. Hold on.
Oh my
I gotta take
God.
over real fast. I gotta take over. So, anyway, me, my other friend Noah, and my other friend Matthew, we were walking in the hallway. This was, like, I think it was senior year. And we were walking, and anyway, so there was a teacher's lounge bathroom in the hallway we were walking in. And we were walking to the other end of the school because I think it was either the end of the day or... No, it was fucking football practice. We were going to football practice at the end of the day or some shit. Something like that. Anyway, we're walking through the hallway. We see Mr. Duran go into the teacher's lounge bathroom. We wave at him. He waves at us, blah, blah, blah. And so anyway, we're walking towards the commons on the way to the field house and everything. And all of a sudden, we see the guy walk by us. And we're like, dude, didn't we just see him like walk into the teacher's lounge bathroom on the other end of the school? And so, yeah, to this day, we believe, unless there's like some kind of tunnel, it's literally like
Impossible.
physically
The
impossible.
tunnels they had downtown.
Well, yeah, but fucking, I mean, I kind of thought about it, and since like the school we used to go to, it is kind of on like an old military base. Maybe there's like secret tunnels under the school
That only Mr.
for that
knows
reason.
about.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
he
where his
knows
lair
about it.
is.
And he just walked by so nonchalantly, like nothing was wrong. He was just like, "Hey, Hobanesh." That was it.
Maybe it was an alien.
I remember
Dude,
he
I'm
wouldn't
telling
let
you.
me and Joshua leave class.
When y'all were trying to fucking get
So
the
we
transfer
were
thing.
trying to transfer out that day, and we had to go like get signatures from the teachers or whatever. And we had just got Mr. Presswood's signature. So we go to Senior Durant's class, and we're like, hey, we need you to sign this paper. Well, I guess the bell was ringing at the time. It was like, okay, Hovenish, sit down outside the paper. I was like, no, we have to leave. Like, we're trying to leave. And he was like, I will sign it here in a second. Sit down. I was like, no, we gotta leave. We gotta get this stuff in before the school. Like, we gotta get to the other office halfway across town to go to our new school. And he was like, okay, Hovenish, are you gonna sit down? I was like, no, dude.
Poor guy.
Finally, we got him to sign the paper like 20 minutes after explaining this.
Did you sit down?
No. We got the paper signed and we walked out of class. We're like,
How are
oh,
we doing on? How are we doing on time?
About an hour and 2 minutes.
Okay, cool. We still have about half an hour to go. That's cool.
I
Oh,
miss Mr.
yeah.
Presswood. That's a teacher I miss.
dude,
He
no,
was
Mr.
chill as
Presswood.
fuck.
Literally, I will tell you right now, he's the best teacher Highland Park ever had, and by a fucking long shot.
Dude was so awesome. Like, he'd sit down and explain shit to you. Made it easier to understand.
Yeah, like literally, I would be a dick to him, like kind of on purpose, because he'd be like, "Yeah, this is important math stuff," and I'd be like, "Dude, when am I ever gonna need to know this shit?" And he was like, "Okay," and he'd literally pull up a chair next to me, and he'd have it on a paper, and he'd draw it out and be like, "So blah blah, this is how you," and he's like, "Maybe you won't use this directly, but the principles of this you will need in your life." I was like, "Oh shit!" I just was fucking left silent. I was like, "Wow, this guy really
Dude
fucking
was
cares."
so cool. He
Yeah.
actually gave a shit about the students. Not just, alright, they get an A, they get an F. Like, he would actually make sure you understood the subject he was talking about.
Yeah, he was
Right.
Like he never really got mad either, dude. Like there was one
No.
time in particular I remember him getting mad, but I think that's because he was just not having a good day.
I remember when he found out
What was
everybody
that?
was cheating.
What was
Y'all
that?
remember that?
What?
He found out everyone cheated on the test, at least in my class. I don't know if y'all had the same class as I did, but he found out that everyone cheated,
What year was it?
and he it was senior year.
I had
I
your
was
class.
in yeah. Do you remember whenever he found out everybody was cheating on tests and stuff, and he had this big speech, and he was like, "Yeah, so I'm going to take the test scores completely out, and we're going to have a brand new test, and I'm going to handwrite it myself."
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, and that was the only time I've ever seen him. And usually I don't give a fuck. If a teacher complains about shit being cheated, I wouldn't give a fuck. But because him that was like, I don't want to let that guy down. You know, like holy shit,
Yeah, Trey, what were
that
you
guy
saying?
cared.
What was that history teacher class? What do we have? Mr. Gumfrey?
Yeah,
Gumfrey?
Mr.
Yeah,
Gump.
dude,
Gumper.
I loved Mr. Gumfrey's class, dude.
Do you remember when Joshua made Zamora cry in that class?
Oh my god.
That story never
Dude,
gets old.
that story is like fucking engraved into my mind. Because we were reading, I don't remember what subject we were reading.
We were reading out of the textbooks.
Yeah,
and we
but
were reading
she was
certain
having
things.
like a hard time reading, and then it goes around a couple people. I guess to Josh, and Josh goes, he points to Zamora, goes, "I choose you," and she's like, "I don't want to." She's like, "That's," and he goes, "That's too bad, because I choose you."
Dude.
And she
And
fucking
she
went out
sh-
crying, and then like her
and her
fucking
friend like got up and started. Y'all
she's
are
like,
horrible people.
yeah, it's
Chased after her.
yeah,
And see, like it sounds
And Joshua
horrible,
was
but she
like,
was like
"That's
not a good
unfair."
person. She was fucking rude to everybody. She was fucking mean. It's what she deserved it.
yeah.
But it was
And I
funny because
remember,
Joshua was like, that's not fair. I had to read out of the book."
yeah, and I remember, I remember we were walking through the hall once. I think Josh or fucking Zamora, they were saying shit to each other. And as we're walking away, Josh goes, "Well, at least I can fucking read."
Oh, I remember Dylan got up and walked out of his class one day.
Dude, he was just rebellious for no fucking good reason, dude.
Didn't he hack the Wi-Fi and
Yeah,
give
he
everyone
did
his
it on
fucking
several
code?
occasions.
Yeah, that guy
He
was
gave
so
it to
intelligent.
everybody. I remember the reason he walked out is because he used to give the ZZ test, and I would always like not try on the test. Like I would do decent, but I wouldn't go above and beyond. Apparently I had beat Dylan by 1 point or whatever. He got mad at Mr. Gumphrey and walked out of class and just started to walk home.
Dude, he did the same shit and fucking.
God damn it, Rolly.
What was the
Scorpion. Fox, that's when you're gonna join.
Okay,
We're in a
we
podcast
got
right now.
like 20 minutes.
Okay.
Get out of here. God damn it.
Play roly poly.
Yeah,
anyway,
he got
that fucking
mad.
one time in fucking Miss Blankenship's class, wherever so we were doing like remember how Miss Blankenship used to do the pop quizzes where she'd be like, whoever raises their hand first gets like a prize or whatever she would do.
Yeah.
So she was saying
Yeah.
answers and fucking, what was it called? He was getting mad because people were answering them before he could. So me and Jordan and Sean started raising our hand, like even if we didn't know the answer, just so he could get answers. And fucking, we kept doing it. And there was one time where she picked on like Sean, and you could hear him like yell. He's like, "Oh, come on!" We were fucking dying laughing. And Miss Blankenship was like, "Guys, that's not funny. If you don't know the answer, don't raise your hand. If you raise your hand, then be like, oh, I forgot." And he was like, "Oh, come on." Oh shit, fucking that, oh, it killed me. Then that one time we kept laughing in Miss Harris's class, me and Jordan. Because Matthew was like
Should we explain Matthew?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
he's an enigma. He's like that. Remember the Patrick like spilled milk enigma thing? That's Matthew. The inner mechanisms of my mind are an enigma. But yeah, he just kept fucking staring at us, and me and Jordan finally calmed down. And then we look over at him again, and he's staring so intensely at us. We start again. She literally stopped the class for that shit. Oh, it was so bad. Oh god. Fuck. It's killing me even now to imagine it. Fuck.
Huh?
He was like staring at the ceiling the first time, and me and Jordan were like crying, and then she stopped class. And was like, "Am I funny to you, gentlemen?" And we couldn't respond because we were laughing, and all the girls were fucking rolling their eyes. They're like, "Can you guys stop?" And we're like, "Dude, we can't." Then we finally calm down. She starts teaching again. We look over, and he's just fucking staring right at us. And then she gets all Miss Lee gets all upset, and she's like, "Gentlemen, if you have to, go outside." We finally calmed down after a while, though. But
Dude, I remember I had her. I had her fucking class for Buzz, dude. Like, dude, like even then she was just fucking like annoying.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's 'cause,
god.
like fucking all the class
My
got
brother's in the
injuries, so
military.
people-
What branch? The
Yeah,
military.
we'll need to explain. We'll have a Matthew section here in a minute. We'll kind of
Dude, fucking Noah, bro.
Noah.
Oh God.
In high school, he was
Oh,
just
man.
so, like, unhinged for no reason.
Yeah, yeah. He needs some fucking Adderall or some shit. He was off his fucking rockers. That one shit he said to Miss F. I don't even know if we get repeated on here.
He needed some Xanax for
The-
sure.
Yeah.
The pen thing?
Yeah, the Muslim thing.
Yeah, I'm sure we could say it. It's not like we're making threats.
I don't think you really want to test it.
You know, fuck it. So anyway, Miss F gave him a pin, and she said, "Just don't blow it up." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm not Muslim."
It was,
Disclaimer: that was Noah who said that. Nobody else
We didn't say
mentioned that. All right.
yeah, we're not making threats.
We're not.
Just
That's the one thing
disclaimer.
we're
In the time,
against.
dude,
Keep that
oh
up.
my god,
Right.
in the school, fucking, the school shooting shit, dude. That shit was fucking
no,
awful.
okay, maybe that's legal stuff. I don't think we can get into that. That's too much. That's legal.
Yeah, that's
But anyway, should we go into Matthew? This
oh
guy
that man.
is the most intelligent, stupid person on the planet. He is fucking. He has said so many one-liners that have stuck with us for like almost 5 years now.
And
we
almost
still
killing
say him.
us.
And he did a U-turn in the middle of one of the biggest streets in our town.
After picking
Pretty
up
impressive. Yeah, picked me up from work, and then just did a U-turn right in the middle of fucking Santi. Fucking pro.
in the
Oh
turning
my
lane.
god.
Not to mention, we were in the turning lane.
He didn't look either. I want to point that out. So he would have been creamed if someone was coming.
Yeah, we would have. It would have been over.
And
Dead
then,
in an instant.
what are some of his lines? We have Van Der Esch neck. So he was trying to explain to us that Leighton Van Der Esch of the Cowboys has a big neck. He has a beefy neck. And so the only thing he said though when he's trying to convey that to us was Van Der Esch neck, and he started like making like
Vander's neck meme.
he started like doing this like thing around his neck to like emphasize he's talking about someone's neck. He's like Van Der Esch neck.
Byron Jones, best corner in the league.
Oh yeah, and then Byron Jones was in the league. And then the other classic ones we got. So there was a girl that came. There was a girl that came. It was like a military recruiter, and she asked a question. She was like, "Does
No.
anyone have family in the military?"
I don't think.
or
I
something
think
like
it was
that?
a guy. I think it was a guy.
It was a guy.
Well, whoever it was. I think I'm thinking of the girl because the girl was the one that said if you have no life or some shit like that. I think that from the how's that me? But I'll get to that here in a second. Anyway, so there's a guy talking. He's like, "Does anyone have any family in the military?" And then Matthew says, "My brother's in the military." And then the guy says, "Oh yeah, what branch?" He's military. And everybody is just fucking dying. And then there was one where the fucking what was it? That was the one I was saying earlier. Is the one where the girl came and it was like some motivational speech, and it was like you don't want to end up like a loser or something. And then our friend Dave Young was like Matthew, and he's like, "How's that me?"
All you do is play games.
all day. You play games all day.
Oh,
Dude,
And then there was
oh
another
God.
thing he said. I don't remember. Oh, the fucking I woke on the bombs on the boulevard. Which one?
On a boulevard.
There's multiple bombs on the boulevard. Just that's why the joke is funny.
On the boulevard.
On the boulevard. Oh,
which one?
man.
The bullet?
On the boulevard.
Oh my God.
Oh, and then there was one time. So during our junior season of football, it was really injury filled. We didn't have a really good season. We went like 1-9. And so anyway, I was the starting left tackle. And anyway, so our left guard and right guard go out for the season, and they were seniors. We were only juniors, and their backup was Matthew. For I think what ended up happening is once our right guard Augustine got injured, then they put Matthew in for him. Yeah, that's what ended up happening. And then I think eventually Augustine came back, and then Matthew played beside me because Dak couldn't play. And so anyway, Matt kept making mistakes, and in football there's a play where if you're a tackle or a guard, whoever, you'll pull, and that means you'll just go from your position and you'll pull around to go pick up stuff where the running back's going. And anyway, so he's playing right guard against a very good team called Canadian here in where we live, and He goes to pull, but he pulls the wrong way because he's not supposed to fucking pull. He's supposed to pick up the fucking nose guard. So he pulls and I pull and I fucking run his ass over. And I'm like, Matthew, are you like, what are you doing? And he's like, I thought I was gonna pull. I was like, dude, it's Trimble right, not Trimble left. He's like, oh. And then he do the same shit too. If it was gonna be like, for example, like if it was gonna be Trimble, like whenever he played next to me for the last few games of the season, he would do the wrong shit. I mean, at least he hit hard. Other than that, oh, he's an enigma. He's an entity. He's like an SCP. Is really what he is. He's like he seems not real, but he is
an SCP.
Oh my god! All right, I guess we're gonna be closing it up here in a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Is there any other final subjects?
An hour and 15.
Oh, okay. We still have a little bit more longer. I thought we had a lot left. Michael, we haven't talked in a minute. You got any topics?
These guys might muted.
Fuck me.
God.
Fuck me.
Dental shaving. Dental shaving IQ right here.
Fuck me.
He's learning how to use a mic for the first time. We're encouraging him. He hasn't used a mic before.
I'll probably be on around 2 p.m.
Actually, have you seen that?
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah, 2 p.m.
Oh my god!
Christ.
Jesus Christ!
Have you seen that video of like the lawyer who has like he went into court, he had like a Zoom court, and he like showed up as like a little kitten,
Yes, I've seen that.
and he's like, "Yeah, I'm here live. I'm not a cat. That's me."
I've not seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen the guy
It's pretty
who
fucking funny.
I've seen the one of the guy who I get dude, I don't even know like the story. I guess his fucking sister or something, or maybe that was just his cover up. When he showed up into the Zoom court meeting, his name was like
From, like, court cam?
Buttfucker 3000 or something.
Oh my god, I've seen that one too. Buttfucker
The guy's like
3000.
the guy's like, your name is not Buttfucker 3000.
Oh, I got a funny story, a funny football story, and it involves Michael.
About Buttfucker 3000.
No, I guess their varsity team at that game, they had a guy on the other side of the defense that Michael was supposed to go up against. Was about my size. You said Michael
He was
about my
he
size.
was Ruger's quarterback. They were putting his quarterback at defensive end for some reason.
Well,
Yeah.
Michael, I guess the coaches wanted to get Michael some reps against somebody that was fast and quick like him. So I get called over by Coach Stout, and I don't know what I'm doing. Like I was supposed to be on an off period at the time, and Coach Stout was like, "Come here, you're gonna go against Curly. So get down on the line and just rush the quarterback." I need y'all to understand something. I was not that big of a kid. I maybe was weighing in at 120 at the time. I was a tiny ass kid. Well, Michael was an excellent blocker. I will tell you that right now. He was an excellent football player. He was big.
You.
He was
Yeah,
terrifying.
he played.
So there was one play. The quarterback was supposed to stay in the pocket and throw the ball. For some reason, I don't know what the quarterback's thinking was. Well, he had ran out the pocket right into me and Michael. And of course, I got counted for the sack. They start yelling at Michael for it, which it was not Michael's fault. Michael had did the proper thing. He had pushed me out the way. So the next play, Michael wanted to show the coaches he knew what he was doing, grabbed me and slammed his head into my head and cracked my helmet. There was pieces of my helmet missing.
Oh god.
When I say I have never had my head rocked so hard, I was in a daze for a good 5 minutes.
Yeah, that's not my proudest moment. That was my anger getting the best of me.
Yeah, I will say this. He put me on the ground. I didn't want to get up. I was done.
Right.
And Coach Stout was like, "You'll be all right." My helmet had a crack in it. You know how hard it is to crack one of those things.
Because I don't make a fat guy mad. When you make a fat guy mad, that's what happens. It's fucking get fucking. And it wasn't even Trey's fault. Like Trey said, it was not his. He literally
No,
did what he was supposed to. Rushed the outside.
I
I
rushed
pushed
the
him out, and
quarterback.
I went into him.
Mike Wood kicked me out properly, and I could not do anything. Like he had me stopped in all manners of any movement, and that quarterback just ran into me. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Pretty fucking shit.
Yeah, that was not a good time to play defensive lineman. I will tell you that. I feel bad. My ribs still hurt to this day.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to do the rib thing. Yeah. Okay. What else is there? Is that going to be it, or is there any
we
more
still got some
subjects
time.
anyone wants to cover?
I mean, we could probably just call that for the day, and then because we have been
wait,
we've been here
wait.
about an hour and 20.
Wait, I got a story. It's about my old manager at Whataburger. It was about Rick.
Oh fuck, dude, Rick the prick. This is going to be a good ender. Yeah.
Okay. So, at the time, me and Lee would eat Whataburger when I'd get off work. He'd walk up to pick me up, and we'd walk home. Well, I'd buy him food. Well, me and Lee sat down to eat, and we were having a conversation. And then out of nowhere, this manager named Rick. I'm sorry, Rick, if this puts you in a bad light, but we got to put it out there. He comes up and started asking me and Lee about video games.
Oh
Out of
God!
nowhere. And I was like, well, of course we play video games. And he was like, oh, if y'all watch video games, you should watch my stream. I stream on Facebook Live.
Dude, I was doing my best to try to fucking not laugh, bro.
And
That,
so, like
that's
to be kind, me and Lee had looked up one of his streams. Oh my God, bro. It was so bad.
Was this the one where it was on like the Facebook Live? It was like fucking
Yeah,
it's
like,
like a
he was
video
recording
camera
it.
angled at his TV.
Yeah. He was
Yeah, it was
recording
all
it off of his
grainy
phone of him sitting down playing the game. Like, it was like behind him too, and this fucking TV screen
It was
you could
like
barely see
all grainy and like just awful.
because
looking.
it wasn't good lighting. Plus, he was fucking recording it off of his phone. Or streaming it off of his phone, dude. It was
quite hilarious. Like it was
fucking embarrassing, bro.
Something different.
Like you can't even stream you can't even stream to fucking Twitch. You had to stream to Facebook gaming. Like, what the fuck?
That's where
It was-
the actual gamers are.
It was quite funny. That man, on the next episode, I could tell you some more stories about that man that were
Rick the Prick is
hilarious.
legendary. Rick
By
the
the
Prick
way-
has. Oh man.
By the way, I just want to I think we should introduce our guests. Like, I'm assuming if we have a guest next episode, right? We should introduce them and how they got introduced to the group. I think that's a cool idea.
Oh yeah, for sure.
all right. Yeah. So we want to call it good on this episode.
I think we had that was a pretty good episode. But thanks to everyone for watching. The fucking probably 3
Yeah.
people that will appreciate it. It was a fun little talking. And we will have another episode next Friday or whenever this comes out the week.
Yeah.
Get your
Again.
shit in order.
Yeah.
I'm learning.
You're holding us down.
The days
I
of
mean,
the week.
again,
are
we could do that. We could put this on Spotify. I think Spotify is a good place to put this.
Well, the thing is, though, doesn't that cost a lot of money?
No, you can use the Anchor thing I was talking about, and my buddy Fox said it's free.
Oh,
Well, all right. I'm
Do
gonna
that,
go.
then go ahead.
Muslim
back.
Minion.
I just found Fortnite. Hey.
Alright, so I guess we will call that good then. I will stop recording, and
That felt a lot better than